Oh, what's up, everybody? Welcome to SnailMail. SnailMail. This is the part of the podcast, the SnailTrail4x4 Podcast, in case you guys didn't realize what you clicked on, where we get to talk with you. Talk at you, I guess. It would be the more appropriate
kind
thing.
of. You're not here to talk back.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is fantastic for us.
It works great. Yeah, we love it. So you guys get to call and leave us a voicemail about anything, any topic whatsoever. It could be feedback from the show. It could be corrections from the show. It could be what you've been up to. If you have an off-road event going on that you want to see more people at, if you want to try and coordinate going out on a trip with somebody else through voicemails, we have 2 people trying to do that at the moment. Whatever you want, we're open. We love the camaraderie. We love communicating, conversing with you guys, sorry. It's a really fun segment that we have ended up really enjoying as part of the show. So as long as you guys keep calling in, we're going to keep doing voicemails.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
How many voicemails are we up to?
Not bad. 14.
Oh, 14.
Yeah.
We're trying to catch up.
It was a slow week last week.
I guess
for people.
So. We'll have more feedback, I think, after this King of the Hammers episode released.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
We want you to give us your feedback about that King of the Hammers episode and whether you have any other suggestions for the people out there that are going to KOH.
Yeah, for sure. We did get feedback from Clint.
Yes.
And I know that Clint has called in before on the voicemails. So Clint, call in your feedback on the voicemail so that we can go over it on the voicemail
Tell
episode.
us the corrections that you have.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So let's start off here. Should we?
Yeah.
We got Austin from Washington.
Austin from Washington.
Yeah,
Almost
relatively
rhymes.
short and sweet.
All right. Bring it on.
What we got?
Hey guys, this is Austin from Washington State. Just finished the podcast where you guys got it down to 8 voicemails. So I don't have anything to say. Just wanted to make sure we keep that number up and out of hand. So yeah, keep crawling.
God damn it, Austin.
Yeah, that was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Call in just so we have more voicemails.
We can't get current on voicemails, Jimmy.
Nope, not allowed.
Oh, that was funny. Good job. Next one. Oh, we know this guy.
Oh, okay.
Christopher from the Posse.
From the Gold Hills Posse. Okay.
Mr. Gladiator.
Yep.
He drives a Gladiator.
Olaf or last name, which is the snowman, right?
Sven.
Yeah.
Christopher Sven Olaf.
Oh, is it?
I don't know. No, I don't know.
Like just covering Frozen.
Yeah. Christoph Sven Olaf.
Yeah.
That would be the way to do it. So
perfect.
That's your new name, Chris. Congratulations.
Changing your name.
All right, here we go.
Hey guys, Olaf here with the Diesel Gladiator. I've got a buddy with a T100 that 250,000 on it and the front end's all clapped out. And rather than rebuilding it, I have him convinced to do a solid axle swap. So I was curious if you guys had a suggestion what to do for the front end on those. I know they're kind of an oddball WMS, and he's looking at like 35-inch tires, but I'm going to try and push him to 37s. Is that a FJ80 axle territory? Should I just jump straight to tons, or is that a good use of like a, mid-70s Chevy Dana 44? Just curious if you guys have an opinion one way or the other. Look forward to hearing from you.
I love it. Axle Talk podcast.
Absolutely. This is good. This is a common question, I think. Kind of comes across.
Not necessarily for T100s.
Not for T100s.
I think it should be. I think the T100 platform is a phenomenal platform to do a build off of.
I do
an off-road build. You get the longer wheelbase. It's a wider stance. So you get a very stable base out of your platform vehicle. It has a 3.4 engine in it, which
came with a 3.4.
It came with a 3.4, which is a great drivetrain.
It also came with a 3.0.
Oh, the early ones. Yeah. Don't get those.
Nope.
Stay away from that one.
Yep.
So I think the T100 is a great platform. So with that being said, what are your thoughts on front axle for doing a solid axle swap on it?
Yeah, I would probably suggest going the route that I did, which was more, I'm sticking with an 8-inch. I'm using Toyota knuckles, and you're going to have to probably do a
mini truck knuckles,
not FJ80 stuff. And I would get a custom front axle housing.
Mm-hmm.
And you're probably going to have to get custom axle shafts because nobody really makes them that size. I didn't look into very much the Land Cruiser width. I think they're not as wide as the T100 is. So you can't just swap over some of those axles, shafts over. And the reason I say that is because you're still somewhat sticking with the Toyota stuff. It's hard to find an axle that will work with, well, actually, I'm retracting my thoughts here. Let me back up. I wonder if the early gen, and I don't know he didn't say what year it was, did he? He just said it was clapped out front, right?
T100 clapped out front, 250,000 miles.
Yeah. So I wonder if the early gen had any 4 cylinders. And mainly my question comes around to what side is the drive shaft going down?
That was my first question.
Yeah. And because if it was the 3.4, then we know what side it's going down. If it's the 3.0, I don't know what side it goes down. It's probably going down the same side as Bobcat. It's probably a passenger side drop where the 3.4 is a driver side drop.
Mm-hmm.
So you're, if it's a 3.4, then I would probably find a 44 somewhere. That's probably what I do. If it's a 3.0 and it's a passenger side drop, I probably would go with a custom housing because it's hard to find any axle out there that has a passenger side drop that's going to be wide enough for that vehicle. Besides a 44 that came in odd years, older years, off of a Wagoneer, like they're just hard to find nowadays.
Yep.
So I'd probably do the custom axle direction. Or else you get an older full width or full size axle, which would be kind of overkill to get a big ass front axle and then have your Toyota 8-inch in the rear.
Mm-hmm.
So that I think there's going to be a balance there to try to figure out what it is. Also, I think we need a little bit more information about what the engine and what side the pinion's on.
Yeah.
Let's see. In regards to tire size, since he said he wanted to go 35s and Chris is going to try to boost him to 37s, an 8-inch ring and pinion's fine for that territory.
Mm-hmm.
The Toyota 8-inch is going to be
especially a high pinion 8-inch.
Yeah, high pinion 8-inch would be fantastic in the front there. A little bit more difficult to find, but would be worth it. And an 8-inch runs fine up to 37s.
Yep.
8-inch is bigger than 37s. You're on your own risk there of what's going on. So I think he could stay in that sort of genre or realm for 35s and 37s.
Yep.
So that's my 2 cents. How about you?
I think he has 3 options.
Yeah.
First option is what you said, custom axle in the front.
Yeah.
And this is mainly if you don't want to mess with the rear axle. If you don't want to mess with the rear axle, keep the rear axle the same, that 8-inch Tundra or the T100 axle, which is a wider axle. It's actually a pretty nice axle. I didn't realize how wide it is.
It's around 67.
Yep. 67 WMS, that's full width wide, right? So that 8-inch in the rear on a 67-inch WMS, that's a phenomenal lighter, quote unquote, lighter weight vehicle rock crawling axle because you get the nice clearances under the diff with that 8-inch diff, right?
Yes.
So if you don't want to mess with the rear axle, I would do the custom front axle with an 8-inch high pinion diff. And then running mini truck knuckles, just like you said. Mm-hmm. If you are kind of like, you don't want to go with a custom axle because with that setup, the custom part you're going to have to get are going to be the shafts.
Yes.
But those shafts are super easy to make. Usually manufacturers that carry Toyota Burfields and shafts, inner shafts, have that length in size and ready to go already. So it is aftermarket. It is quote unquote custom, but they're usually on the shelf ready to go.
Okay.
For that width. So
that's what your dad's width is on his, right?
you're essentially that is my dad's front axle, 8-inch high pinion, 67-inch WMS, with Toyota knuckle and mini truck knuckles on the outers. So.
And that's what I'm going to be building.
Yep. And it works really well. And his truck is actually pretty heavy. It's a first gen Tacoma 4-door cab. But his whole frame is plated. He's got a flat belly on it. I mean, it's a pretty hefty truck, and he does just fine on 40s with it. So, under a T100, as long as you're not overlanding with it and overloading with it, that's going to be a great choice. If you are like, you want to go big, and you're going to either overload the truck, so you're bumping up the GVW on it quite a bit, or you just want to party with it and use the rev limiter a lot and all this other stuff, then I would vote skip the 44, just go straight to Super Duty axles. And the reason why is because 05 and up Super Duty axles, front and rear, that 10.5 Sterling and the 05 up, they're so plentiful nowadays. You're going to be able to find a set of those way easier and way cheaper than FJ80 axles, than a Wagoneer axle. If you wanted to go a 44 route, Dana 44 route, then you would want to go, in my opinion, with some JK Rubicon takeoffs axles.
But
which are more expensive than 05 and up Super Duty axles right now.
As expensive. And they're not as wide.
Right? So I think, in my opinion, if you really just wanted to, and that would be option number 2, which in my opinion is the better option. I like overbuilding things that way you just don't ever have to worry about it if you're going to be driving to and from the trails all the time.
Yeah.
And then if you're just really concerned about weight, you're trying to keep the vehicle as lightweight as possible, then you're going to spend more money on it, but you can do a couple JK Rubicon takeoff Dana 44s.
Okay.
So that would be the 3 options.
Well, my concern about the JK Rubicon takeoffs is they're less wide than the stock setup.
That's fair. I don't know the WMS on the JKs.
No, I don't either, but I think they're smaller.
Yeah. I guess you could do Curry and Spicer, Dana Spicer, will make you custom with the wider 44s.
Yeah. So. And if you're going to go the custom route, you don't have to do Toyota knuckles either. Sure. You can do any other knuckles setup. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you can probably have it set up to be like, I want a Toyota high pinion 8-inch and Dana 60 outers.
You totally. Yep.
And you can go that route, and you can set up a custom axle however you want.
Yep.
So, the question really comes down to what side is that the drive shaft coming out for the front drive shaft going to? Is it driver side or passenger side? And then you need to figure out what axles are available at that width.
Yep.
And if it's on the driver's side, there's tons of axles available for you. Mm-hmm. If it's on the passenger side, you're really limited.
Yep.
So if it's a 3.0, you're looking at a limited axle options. Mm-hmm. If it's a 3.4, you've got a lot of options available. So take that however you want. And hopefully you find out. Call back though, Chris, and let us know what you think he decided on.
Cool. I like it. Axle talk. Next up.
Yes.
Is Nick from Montana? Justin from Montana?
Ooh, we got another Montanian.
Yeah, let's see what we got here.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Nick from Montana. Things are doing better spine-wise, so that's pretty great. I have a list here. Number one on the list is the bully Tyler. Being a bully callers, I figure it works both ways, but,
just like Jimmy.
Such a Californian, your inability to understand wrist gaiters. We use them all the time up here in Montana, and that's it's how you keep snow and ice out of your jacket when you're out ice climbing and stuff. Christmas stuff. I think you should buy the wife a vacuum for Christmas. I bought mine one of those Dysons for Valentine's Day, and it's my new favorite extreme sport. Going through Target with a Valentine's Day card and a vacuum cleaner and just seeing the amount of hate that you get from all the women that you're walking around. It's fun.
That's amazing.
On the gift stuff, I just keep an Amazon list of like stuff that I would never ever buy for myself, but I eventually forget about. And my wife seems to remember that I have that list every year, and like I get something cool that I appreciate. And for the replying to Richard that called in this week about the Toyota doing 2-wheel drive to 4-wheel drive, that's where I started, and now I'm in the middle of a turbo LS on Super Duties with trailing arms and stuff like it. Just buy the XJ, as much as that sucks to hear, or buy a built Yoda, because this shit's ridiculous. It's taken me years, and trying to work on it off and on. The cool thing is that like I hang out in the garage with my daughter and we build stuff, and so like the kids built wiring harnesses for engines and transmissions at 3 months old. She's built more axles than half the listeners. So like that's pretty fun. And the last one is I got one for you. Did you know that pigeons die during sex? At least the one that I fucked did. So, yeah.
That was amazing. Why can't you do jokes like that, Jimmy?
That was pretty funny.
Nick, that was amazing. That's my new favorite voicemail ever.
They had some great ones in there. Some, woman hating stares. Some neck gator,
wrist gator.
Yep. What did he call it? Hating on you or
bullying
to you? Yeah, that was Nick. Good job, man, and congratulations on your present. By the way, I haven't seen a present from your guy show up on the Facebook or iRate yet.
I haven't either. Now that you mention it, I need to contact him and be like, "You got those, right?"
Yeah. Let's see. Did you see Nick's?
I did not.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. I might go look at it right now, and I'll make a judgment call.
Oh, okay. That'll be fun. Let's see. Thanks for calling in, Nick. Always good to hear that you're doing better. I haven't talked to Tyler yet, but I did receive a message from Nick saying that he is more than happy to get on to the podcast and talk about SARS stuff, which I think would be a cool episode. I think Tyler is searching the Facebook group right now, trying to find his post. Did you find it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the ticket.
Yeah, I have no idea where that ticket came from.
Oh, okay. I was like, was that part of it?
No. I don't know if the manufacturer threw that in as a joke or Nick just found a random photo of something crazy like that and put it on there as me giving it to him.
Boys Records. This ticket is a novelty item. Any attempt to use this item to attempt to gain entry to a concert venue or event constitute fraud. I guess they probably had to put that on for legal reasons.
Maybe. I don't know where it came from.
That's pretty rad. That's pretty cool. So that is that Shirley's car?
No.
Whose car is it?
I don't know if it's any, I'm not sure. It's just so I was able to work with Vanquish again. Mm-hmm. We were able to send out another RC car, and this one, I think it's more or less the same model as we sent out last year. Okay. I could be completely wrong on this, but I do believe it has a Toyota front end on it.
Oh.
And the whole thing is, what do you want? The decals on it are from Yokohama.
Yeah.
Which is perfect.
It's an Ultra 4 buggy. I mean, it either looks like Levi Shirley's car or,
it might be.
Oh my God, who's the team that we keep stealing all their tires each year?
The Capreras.
The Capreras. Yeah. One of the Capreras cars. That's pretty cool though.
Yeah. It's rad. It looks fantastic.
Yeah.
The Yokohama design on it looks just like it should be a race car. It rad.
Does. Yeah.
So, and apparently it rips. Yeah. Now I need to start working with Vanquish and get some stuff for myself. That'd be fun.
Them make a Bobcat.
Yeah.
Have them recreate Bobcat or
that would be pretty fun. I think another company has that body style because they had some like legal issues with like developing like products that are trademarked, like a Toyota thing, and the Toyota was kind of like, you can't do that. So they were making designs very similar to mass companies, but sometimes like somebody like Yokohama wants them to make it and
Yeah.
wants them to design it and gives them the free liberty to do so.
Yeah.
So it's pretty neat.
Nice. That's really cool. Yeah, I don't know if I can, I don't know if I
No,
can
don't
say
say
what my
yet.
gift is. Okay.
Don't say
We
yet.
got Riley. You need to post it, buddy.
Yeah.
He should have got here. Let me just check on one of them really quick.
Okay.
Let's go back. Here, back. Oh my God, come on. I'm just closing everything out. Restart. One of the gifts says it was delivered January 17th.
Okay. So that was a while ago.
Mhm.
So we should have something for us here soon. Hopefully.
Yeah, let me message him and I'll just do this real quick.
Okay.
Okay, I have messaged Riley.
All right.
We'll see if he replies and gets a picture up there of his stuff.
That'd be fun. We need to see who's the ultimate winner.
Mm-hmm. I actually sent Riley a Valentine's card and vacuum cleaner.
Perfect.
So.
I love it. So since you, without saying your gift,
Okay.
and now that you know what mine was, who do you think's going to win?
I don't know. I think it could go either way.
Okay.
Mine was more money. I know
Okay.
that was more a higher retail value, I should say. But I don't know. It could go. It depends on, I guess, who gets it. If they're looking for fun and entertainment or functional use on their off-road adventures, practicality on their off-road adventures. So,
All right.
yeah. But I think if it's either personality, I think it can go either way.
All right. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what people think.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, once those are up, we can have the voting start and we'll see who's the ultimate gift giver.
Yeah.
Well, we got some more voicemails in there.
Yeah. Let's do this one's from Rob.
Okay.
Is it Wreck-It Rob?
I don't know.
I don't know which
We'll
Rob it
find
is.
out.
Here we go.
Jimmy, Tyler, what's up? Rob. I guess the first thing I want to go with is, Jimmy, your flasher unit is probably bad at your fuse box. I had the same problem with my OBS. Number two, I finally have a garage. Yay! And I was wondering if maybe you guys could go over how you guys organize yours. I have a 2-car garage that I plan to put together as my shop to work on my cars because it's not tall enough to put my rig in it. But at least all my tools will be in one place now. And number three, geez, everybody calls so much now. This whole idea with Uncle Pool looks like it's going to be pretty complicated. So why don't we just put together a run where we all go? Maybe we can all call in with a couple ideas after you tell us where we could go. Let's get out and go wheeling. I would say let's do it up here while everybody's down at the Hammers, but it looks like that's still going to be a pretty busy weekend for you guys. So, yeah, let's see if we can put something together. Let's have fun. Talk to you guys later. Keep crawling.
It was indeed.
It was indeed
It was indeed.
a busy weekend.
No, it's his name. Indeed.
Oh, indeed.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
It was Rob.
Yes.
So
That's true.
yeah, dude. Let's see. What was your flasher? Your
Yes.
flasher unit.
So I was going to talk about this, or maybe I did talk about it on Thursday.
Okay.
We were recording these a little out of order. But I replaced my flasher unit and Clifford's blinkers are working.
Nice.
Yeah. I was a little concerned because I pulled the old flasher unit out and it was actually really stubby. And the new one I got was probably twice as long as the old one. So I was concerned that the cover wouldn't shut. But and thanks for not laughing. Yeah, there it is.
Trying to hold it in.
Yeah. But it actually all fit within the cover, so it actually worked out. And so Clifford has blinkers again.
Nice.
That's pretty awesome. Now I do need to fix one more small. Well, I've got 100 things to fix on Clifford to some extent, but there's one more small electrical thing going on and the reason that I thought the culprit was electrical in the back end of Clifford, because when I connect the trailer, everything works on the trailer except for the left turn signal. So there's an issue with the connection back there at the pins or something. So I need to look into that.
Yep.
But that was the reason, because there's that issue. I thought something was going on with all the electrical back there, and that was grounding it out or something random. But
that should be a pretty easy fix then. You know it's in the left turn signal, so you can just trace the left turn signal wire and see where you've got the loose connection at.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I just need to pin that out, figure that out, and before pretty much cruise Moab. I think is really the next time that I'm going to use the trailer.
Sweet.
That I know of. So that's a goal of mine before I do that road trip.
Cool.
But yeah, Flasher's working. Thanks everybody for the advice. I'm super happy I didn't have to dive into some electrical in the back to figure out that wasn't the culprit. And crowdsourcing is awesome.
It is fantastic.
Yeah.
That's the real reason why we do voicemails. So.
Kind of, yeah. What was number 2? Shop organization. I think that would be a fantastic topic to cover.
I'll add it to the topic list.
Yeah. In regards to just to kind of a quick overview of some of the things that I've done, is I've tried to make all of my shelving or my counters the same exact height so that if I can work from one counter to the other, or I've mobile carts, which is going to be my second one. But the mobile carts and everything are all the same height, so I can span a long distance and everything's near level, which is really cool. Putting everything on wheels, I think, is really nice because then you can push things around, move it however you want. If you're limited on space, like a 2-car garage, you can push everything to the side and only pull out the one thing that you need, maybe the one table or the press or, some jacks or whatever that is. You can just wheel it around and move it to wherever you need. And then I think organization is, and I know that's the topic, but being organized is very important. Having a shelving system that you understand, that you can store things away, you know where they are. I stole this from Alex Steele on YouTube, and he hates horizontal places. And so anything that's horizontal gathers stuff.
It does. Yep.
So if you have less things that are horizontal to put things on, then you are forced to have places for things. And once you have places for things, then you know where to put things away. If you just have a horizontal shelf, it just collects crap.
Yeah.
And then your shop is dirty and disorganized. So my 2 cents to that is have a place for everything. Like you might have some space that doesn't have an organized area, but eventually try to clean that out and make an organized place for something. Like, where do random nuts and bolts go? Do you have a bin for that? Where do your jack stands go? Where's the place for that? It's not just like, oh, I just put them on the floor wherever they are. No, has a designated place that everything kind of goes. That'll help keep your shop more organized.
Yep. I agree. My short and easy answer is, I don't store vehicles in my garage. So my garage is a 2-car garage and split into metalworking stuff and then woodworking and electrical stuff.
That's on each side.
Right?
Yeah.
So my metalworking stuff is my welding area, right? So and that's where my big toolboxes are with all my tools in them. So I have got metal tops to those steel plates as the metal top. So I don't want to do electrical work over there because it's all metal, right? And I don't want to short anything out on the steel plates or get weird electrical signals, continuity signals or something if I'm checking things due to the electrical plate. So I have a woodworking bench that's wooden. So it's completely electrical insulated. So I do all my electrical stuff over there and I do all my metalworking stuff on the other side of the garage.
Smart. Yeah.
And it also helps keep I keep the metal side of the garage is the dirty side too, right? So any of your metal shavings from cutting stuff, your metal dust from cutting into things, slag from welding, and then I also cut wood on that side as well. So all the wood dust stays over there too, and stays away from the electrical wiring side of the garage.
Yeah.
So I guess mine is more organized based on two different types of tasks and cleanliness than the necessary clutterness. So, but my garage is very cluttered and it is really bad on the clutter part of it. So
sure. Yeah. I think there is a point to which organizing versus cleanliness is a good factor. There's a room in my shop that I don't have access to. It's a storage area for my parents. And I always say, we need to get you another storage unit so I can have this room. And what I would do is I would turn it into a dirty room.
Yeah.
I would turn it into the like welding, grinding, just like the things that create dust and make a mess. I would do in that room.
Mm-hmm.
So then the rest of the shop stays clean.
Yeah.
So if you can have a corner or like an area that you always kind of do that in, or majority of the time, or a rolly cart that you can roll outside and make a mess outside, that's a good thing too. Yeah.
I will second the concept of putting everything on wheels.
Yeah.
That's very, very nice to be able to just store something away against a wall and then pull it out when you need to use it.
Yeah.
So
like Tyler has an electrical bench. I have an electrical cart.
Yeah.
So like all my like solder and the connectors and, all the the different types of connectors and the tools like the needle nose and some snips and wire strippers and everything's on my electrical cart, my roller cart. And so it's like, oh, I need to do some electrical stuff. Pull the cart out.
Yep.
All my electrical stuff is right there.
Yep.
And I wanted for a long time to be able to have like multiple carts.
Yeah.
Be like, I'm going to wash a vehicle. Here's my vehicle washing cart.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm doing electrical. Here's my electrical cart. I'm doing plumbing or whatever. I don't know what another one would be. I haven't put much thought into it, but I did at one point think that'd be cool to have like a few different carts for a few different specific projects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay.
Well, cool. That does it for today's snail mail.
What do we get to? 4?
We got through 4.
Let's do one more.
Do one more?
One more.
All right. We got Toyota Dawn as the next one.
All right. His are usually pretty quick too.
Yeah, it's fairly long. Let's see what he's got today.
All right. Toyota Dawn.
Hey boys, Rover Don here.
Toyota Dawn.
Soon to be Portal Don. That's right. They should be here before this voicemail gets to you. But hey, Jimmy, you should probably go get a drink or something right now. This question's this is 100% for Tyler. Tyler, let's talk antennas. Favorite dual band, either NMO or mag mount with a spring base. Because I've redone the roof of my truck and now I have a larger steel panel that I could put NMO on if I wanted. But I'm going to change the radio and finally put a dual band. It's been sitting on the shelf for 2 years probably. And wanted to see, get an antenna recommendation because I know you can't get enough ham talk. Okay, Jimmy, you're welcome to come on back now. We're done with that sort of thing. And you were asking what was the gateway drink? Yeah, that was peach schnapps back in the high school days. I really, as a high schooler, you do not want to spill that in the floor of your car because, yeah, you're gonna have to work a lot to clean that smell out of there. In general, I just don't recommend it at all at this point. But that was the gateway alcohol back in southern Indiana in the 80s. Anyway, I'll let you go. You guys, you know, I don't even have to say it anymore. Anyway, that's it. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
He can't even say it anymore.
I know, right?
He's such a Toyota fan now, sending us pictures of Toyotas.
He said he was going to buy a Toyota.
Did he?
He was talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was like, I will never admit this. And if you guys say it on the podcast, I will call in and fully deny it. But he did send us a picture of a Toyota saying that he was thinking about buying that.
Mm-hmm.
So just putting it out there, Toyota Dawn.
Therefore, he can't say it anymore.
I know.
Yeah. Well, that was a fun entry to alcohol story too. I've had schnapps before, and that I avoid it now for sure. All right. Radio antenna talk.
Radio antenna talk. It's actually fairly simple.
Yeah.
For off-roading, stay away from springs, from spring-loaded antennas.
Oh, yeah.
They just, in different situations, you never know how much those things will slap around on springs. It's best just to get a stainless steel whip antenna.
Okay.
And with the nice thing about ham radio frequencies is you can keep those antennas relatively short and still maintain great coverage out of the antenna, right? ERP, output power from the antenna. So I used to get a specific antenna. It's a steel whip style that is, I want to say it was like 3 feet tall, maybe something like that. And I've since switched over to a stainless steel whip antenna that's only like 1.5 feet tall.
Yeah. I changed over to one on Bobcat too. I think I had the previous one that you liked, and now I'm to the smaller version.
Yep. Yeah. And this is mainly for anybody that's in an area and wheels regularly in an area that has good repeater coverage. You don't need a big ass talk to the moon antenna on your vehicle. Your mobile radios for ham radios put out plenty of power for getting a good enough range. Typically, your biggest inhibitor to range is going to be geography. And on the frequencies we deal with, no amount of power is going to get you to burn a signal through the mountain.
No. Yeah.
So usually our biggest thing is topography. Power isn't going to overcome topography on the frequencies we use. So really getting that 1.5 feet tall antenna that I'm now using, it's really all you need. You're not breaking antennas, risking ripping them out of your roof, anything like that. And they're NMO.
Right.
So,
and explain again what NMO is.
NMO is a mount style. I don't remember what it stands for, but it's you drill a 3/4 inch hole into whatever your mounting surface is. And then from the back side of your mounting surface, there's a central lug that will come up through the hole that's threaded on the OD of the lug.
Okay.
And then for the top side is like a ring that threads onto that lug. Thus, you are flanging together your mounting surface.
Yes.
And the OD of the ring is then threaded for your antenna to thread onto.
Got it.
So what happens is you have this 3/4 inch hole that gets completely sealed up with the ring and the inner lug. Those combining together completely seals your hole in your roof. And then, so when your antenna isn't on, you have a 1/4 inch, maybe 1/2 inch coming out of your mounting surface. But once your antenna is on, it's all completely sealed. It seals up the ring, the NMO mount, everything from weather intrusion at all. So you don't get any rust. You don't get any corrosion in there. Use some dielectric grease if you're concerned about it too. But it's super easy to take your antenna on and off the vehicle if you need to. It's a very sturdy mount as well. It is self-grounding mount, so you don't have to run a ground wire. So self-grounding, sturdy, weatherproof, and easy to take on and off kind of thing. And by taking off the antenna, you don't end up with a hole in your roof afterwards.
Right. Which is nice.
Which is really nice.
Now, he did say that he was mounting it onto a steel plate that is now his roof. Does he have to worry about interference or connection or a bad ground or something there?
Not necessarily. The big thing is the thickness of that steel plate. Anything more than, I think, 1/4 inch. And you're going to need to make that less.
Okay.
Less thickness. Because the lug that comes up through the steel plate, that's where the load part of the electrical circuit goes onto, which attaches to a little kind of bent spring on the inside of the antenna. And if the steel plate is too thick, then that lug doesn't come up far enough to make contact with that spring inside the antenna.
Got it.
And I've seen that happen before because people will try and do an NMO on like a bumper.
Right.
And, some bumpers are 1/4 inch thick or more sometimes. And that will inhibit the contact, and then your antenna doesn't work at all. And you're like, why doesn't my antenna work? You run an SWR check and it's like no connection whatsoever. So,
Right.
That's the only real main concern with when he starts mentioning a steel plate, quote unquote.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
And my only other 2 cents to toss in there is, Bobcat's running the same antenna, and it's running it more or less in the factory location for the FM antenna, which is not on my roof. It's down off of the fender. And I maybe am prohibiting a little bit of signal loss because of how low it is, but I've never had any concern or issue with it connecting to people. So even then throwing it on the roof isn't even to me wasn't even a concern that it needed to be up there, because it gets great power and signal in the lower position that I have it at. So you maybe not even have it on your roof, Don.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. So, Don, if you're curious which antenna, text me. That'll be a nice reminder, and I'll send you the Amazon link for the antenna that Jimmy and I are now using.
Yeah,
right now.
I'll throw it in the show notes.
Perfect.
I'll get it from you, and we'll put it in the show notes.
Perfect. That'll work.
Yep.
Sweet. So hopefully that does it for voicemails today.
Yeah,
we got down to 9.
All right.
So
I like it.
We'll see how many we get by next week.
Cool. Sounds good. If you guys want to call in and be a part of our snail mail episodes, you can do that. 916-345-4744.
I like it a lot. And with that, my friends, we out.
Out we.
Sorry. Out we. That's what I meant. I meant to say that.
Yeah, sorry.
Out we.
The number you have called has been disconnected.